Good morning, good night, good afternoon, whatever part of the world you're on today. This episode of As the Tarot Turns is brought to you on purpose with purpose. I am your host, Nacho Mama. Some people call me Crystal, some people call me Criddle, like Riddle with the C. Either way, Nacho Mama is a personality, not a person. Today I'm going to do the collective of Libra, the Libra collective. Doesn't matter if you're a man dealing with a man, a woman dealing with a woman, a man dealing with a woman, or a woman dealing with a man. We're just going to read for the entire Libra collective, see what sort of messages Spirit has for us today. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe if you so feel inclined. I'm over halfway to a community tab, which is super exciting for me. So thank you to everyone that has subscribed, and thanks in advance for everyone that's about to. I love you guys. You guys are truly amazing. Super excited. So Libra, what sort of messages does Spirit have for Libra today? Universe, please use me as a conduit to express the best message for Libra's personal growth, whether it be clarity, confirmation, guidance, whatever needs to come out for Libra today. Libra. Universe, please use me as a conduit to express the best message for Libra's personal growth. That one wanted to pop. Drinking from empty cups, tired of empty cups. Some of you are dealing with a Scorpio. There's some sort of underlying sadness. What is this sadness about? Oh, the closure. Some of you are sad that you ended something, or that you had to end something. Yeah, you were up in your head trying to figure out if you should go or if you should stay, if you should go or if you should stay. Should I go or should I stay now? And I feel like a lot of you have decided to end something, and even though it was your decision to walk away, you knew it was for the best, you know? I ran across this meme, like, it's okay to love somebody and still know that you can't participate, or they can't participate in your life, you know? To still know that they're bad for you, you know? But it doesn't make it hurt any less. You know, it's not like you're walking around all, fuck that guy, you know? Fuck this, fuck that girl. They're a piece of shit, they're this, they're this, they're that. It's just like this knowing that you love them. You know, you have mad love for them, you love them, but there's something toxic that you walked away from, that you were drinking from an empty cup. Maybe it was unrequited, you know? It's probably one of the harder decisions you had to make, was walking away. And you're getting your closure. You don't get closure and then walk away. You usually get closure by walking away. You know, then you end up with the closure that you need in your own heart. What do we have here? With the Ten of Pentacles. So as sad as you were, as sad as it makes you, that the situation that, you know, that whatever you walked away from, whatever sort of truth you had about this toxic behavior, there was a toxic behavior that you had towards this person, you know, that was not healthy for you, or you weren't being healthy towards them, or they weren't being healthy towards you, or both. Maybe both of you weren't being healthy towards each other. With the High Priestess, yeah, your intuition told you that you needed to go, that you needed to let it go. And as painful as it was to let it go, you know that you did what was best for everyone involved, you know? So you could work on tangible items. You could work on things that are really real, you know? It's not that you don't love this person. It's not that this person doesn't love you. It's just there was something unhealthy about the situation. Some sort of unhealthy behavior that was preventing you from getting to your 10 of Pentacles. Preventing you from taking care of yourself, you know? So now you're focused on your goals, your actions, your your family, your legacy. But there's still this underlying kind of sadness. I mean, you're in the middle of a transition period. You're in the middle of healing. You're in the middle of letting it go, you know? It's almost like that mourning, even though this person's not dead, it's like mourning mourning the thought of what could be, or mourning the thought of what could have been, you know, mourning in transition. You're transitioning, you're trying to use all that you've learned to not go back to past mistakes, to let that cycle end, and walking through new doorways, boom, with success. I don't care how old you are, you guys. Like, I am 40 years old, and in a week from today exactly, I'm going on my first flight discoverer. Yeah, I have signed up to be to get my private pilot certificate. My whole life I thought I couldn't do it because I wore contacts. You know, I just assumed I couldn't because I wore contacts. Like the assume, ass equals ass you me, assume. So I made an ass out of myself by assuming that I could never be a pilot because I had vision problems because I wore contacts, you know? And then I'm 40 years old and finally found out that I could actually go and be a pilot. What was the first thing I did is went and signed up. Like, I signed up that freaking day, man. I was so excited. I'm still so excited. You know, but had I learned that years and years ago, I do believe in divine timing and that everything happens exactly the way that it's supposed to. So I can't beat myself up for the things I didn't know, you know. But if there's something you really want to go after that you think is you're too old for, or that you could never do because you have this problem, or you could never be successful at that because like I said, I didn't even look into it because I was under the assumption that I couldn't because I wore contacts, right? I mean, how silly was it for me to not ever investigate, to not ever look into it, to not go after something that I truly was passionate about? Like, I wanted to be a pilot for, shoot, my whole life. Hell, I broke my arm when I was little thinking that I could fly. I was trying to show my brother that I could fly. I swore I could fly, man. And I not only broke my arm, but I shattered it into a million little pieces trying to show my little brother that I could fly. And I'm now 40 years old and I'm gonna fly. So don't let some sort of assumption block you from walking through that doorway. All right? Because that doorway, there's a doorway that's wide open for you that you may have just been assuming you couldn't get to because of some sort of ailment, because of your age, because you have vision problems, because whatever excuses you've made for yourself. Like, actually do the research, do the work, look into it, find out. You know, if there's something that you really want to do, find out if you can. Put in the appropriate steps to be like, hey, I can do this. Yeah, you've let go of all your toxic behaviors. Maybe some of you had addiction problems or were dealing with somebody with addiction problems. I know from experience that in order to break away from those addictions, you have to break away from the people, the places, the things that were involved in those addictions, right? Like, I had to drop all the people that I knew that were involved in anything of the toxicity that I was involved in. I had to stay away from them because I kept giving myself excuses while I was around them, like, oh, it's okay, I can still do this, and you know, like, I knew I was a spiritual, like, I always felt like I was a spiritual leader, like I have a spiritual mission, you know, and I know that that path was part of my spiritual mission, but I kept giving myself excuses of why it was okay, you know, like, oh, it's okay if I smoke crack this one time, not to say I was smoking crack, but along the same lines, you know, it's okay if I do it, you know, this time or this time because that's what God wants me to do, you know. Well, that might have been correct at the time, but when it was time to go, it was time to go. And the only way that I could break out of that cycle was removing myself or anybody else around me that was involved in those situations. Like, I had to remove myself from people that drank. I removed myself from people that did drugs. I removed myself from people that were addicted to negativity, that were addicted to drama. I removed myself from pretty much everyone except for my son and my brother. You know, they live with me, but I removed myself from all the people that could possibly bring me back to that level. All right. And sometimes that's just what we got to do. Now it's been over a year, and I am the most sober I've been since I was like 11 years old. And it took a lot of isolation, you know, for recovery, for healing. But I recovered on purpose with purpose. If there's any of you out there that are suffering from addiction, I invite you to look up Recovered on Purpose on YouTube for their testimony, because your testimony will save someone's life one day. Just like my testimony. I'm in the middle of writing a book right now, and my testimony will be someone's guiding light, just like Adam's testimony was my guiding light. Sometimes it just takes somebody saying the words in a different sentence structure that just clicks in your mind, and you're like, whoa. Like, once I heard Recovered on Purpose, like, I really wanted to just be able to say that and mean it. So I made it my mission to recover on purpose. That's why my mission is on purpose with purpose. Like, I'm here on purpose with purpose. Like, a lot of us, man, like, I'm not going to go look for a flight instructor that has never flown, you know? I'm not going to go look for recovery by people that have never recovered. I'm not going to go ask relationship advice to those that are not in a relationship, you know? And I know that God, spirit, universe put me through the path that I was put on purpose with purpose, so that I could pull myself out of it and help other people do the same thing. So if there are any of you out there struggling with addiction, or struggling with somebody that is addicted, check out Recovered on Purpose. Adam totally inspired me to make the necessary changes. You know, he followed his path and inspired me to be on my own path, right? And we have abundance. Nice. Abundance. So whatever it was that you ended, however many cycles you ended, whatever this toxic situation was that you've definitely energetically untied. You've definitely mentally untied, physically untied yourself from all the things that you possibly could that you did not feel were serving your higher mission. And you are working on your legacy, walking through new doorways with a lot of abundance. Even though there's still this like mourning, you're still going through some sort of mourning phase. You know, maybe it's regret of some of the things that you've done. Maybe it's regret of some of the things that you've let happen. Maybe it's the regret of a loss of a person, or the mourning of a loss of a person. But it's okay to mourn your cycles. Like, when you get married, you have a bachelorette and a bachelor party, right? That's almost like a funeral service for your single life. You know, when you're having a baby, you have a baby shower. That's like almost the mourning experience of your non-mother life, right? It's like a celebration of life, but in different ways. So maybe some of y'all need to have an actual celebration, have an actual celebration for the things that you've let go of, for the things that are no longer in your life, you know? We have victory with the Six of Cups. And the Lovers. Wow. So whatever path it is that you are on right now, Libra, you're walking a really good path towards the best you that you could possibly be, towards equal give and take relationships that are healthy, that know how to respect boundaries, that aren't lessons. They're actually blessings. I mean, even though all lessons are actually blessings in disguise, you've definitely passed some sort of universal tests here, Libra. The Nine of Cups too. Jeez. And the Hierophant. This was all spiritually led. With the Two of Cups too. Libra, you are embarking on a major spiritual, like, I just feel so much spirituality here with the Hierophant. Like, this is so divinely guided. Like, even all the bad things were divinely guided to get you to where you are right now, right? You have the permanent contentment in the realm of the heart. You understand that your emotions are not in control of you, that you are in control of your emotions. You're not putting up with any bullshit fucking jokers in your inbox. You know, like, you have really learned how to spot red flags inside your soul, you know? When somebody new approaches you and they send you, strange messages that are like they're demanding your attention, like, you don't feel pressured to have to respond to this person. You're not giving of yourself in order to please other people. Like, you are only participating in the things that feel good to your soul, with the people that feel good to your soul. Like, you've done a lot of inner healing work, Libra, and you have something coming. Either you have something coming, or that's just with you and spirit, right? You and God. Your relationship with God is so on point. Like, your love for God is so on point. His love for you, their love for you is so on point, Libra. But don't be afraid. Don't sit there and assume, ask you me, that you can't do something because of some sort of element, right? Get out there and get it, Libra. Get it, get it. Be determined, yeah. The King of Discs. Good job, Libra. Even though you're still in a mourning phase, like, you know that the rest of your life is going to be the best of your life, Libra. You have this confidence, this inner knowing that you've completed some of the toughest missions that you could have ever gone through, and you're still alive, you're still kicking. You ain't got those people around you anymore. Like, you've completely transformed your life. And you know that it was all on purpose. And we have the Ten of Cups. Libra, you have some big things happening for you. Some big things. Some things that you probably never would have guessed in your entire life. Never would have seen. But since you've done the work, Libra, you're working on yourself. You are only going to attract the same type of tribe, same type of vibe in your tribe, you know? That's why I love about the Wheel of Fortune. Like, when you're at your very bottom, the only way to go is up. And when you're at your very top, don't take it for granted, because you can go back down again. Because what goes up comes down, and what goes down comes up, right? That's just the natural law. And it might not be, in relationships. It'll be in different areas with different perspectives, with different visions. I mean, sometimes we think that we are just seeing the same cycle, but in all reality, it's a spiral, right? We're not in the same place we were on that part of the spiral when we saw that last time. We're on a different level of this spiral, with different lessons, with different lessons, different blessings, different learning. And you have your card, Libra, with Justice. You will balance these scales out. You will learn, if you haven't already, you will learn how to turn that pain into power. And not just power in a egotistical, self-centered, narcissistic type of way, but power to help others, to empower, not of power, to empower yourself, to know that you've survived. You've survived this, you've survived that, you've survived this, you survived that, and you've always came out with more knowledge, more understanding. There might have been times that you absolutely just rolled into a ball and cried your freaking heart out, Libra, asking God, why? Why? You know? But those days are over. Those days are over, Libra. You can't go wrong with a spiritual mission. If you are focused on a spiritual mission, on being the best you that you could possibly be for, the love of your higher self, the love of God, the love of your ancestors, to make, you are going to be you're going to be somebody's ancestor one day. When you're calling down your ancestors and you're asking your ancestors for help, somebody's going to be doing that same thing and you're going to come popping in, man. That's fucking, that's really powerful. That's an amazing thing to think of. When I started looking at my life as, if I came up to me as a little girl and asked me, Crystal, what did we do in our life? Right? What did we do in our life as a little me? Did we do this? Did we do that? How did we survive this? What is our story? I really just decided that I wanted to make sure that I could make that little girl inside of me proud of who we are, of what we've done, of what we've overcome throughout all of it. Not only that little girl inside of me, but my son, but that little girl inside of me, when I had that vision of the little me running up to the older me, like, what did we do? Tell us about our life. I didn't want to tell that little girl, oh, I just remained a drug addict for the rest of my life and ate bonbons on the couch and did nothing. I wanted to be able to look that little girl in the eye and tell her, we recovered on purpose, with purpose. We are powerful, beautiful. Right now, we're learning how to be a pilot. Little girl. And who knows what's next? We're writing a book. We have our own channel. We've turned all of our pain into empowerment. And I love you. I love you, little me. I don't know who needed to hear that out there, but I know that everything happens exactly the way that it's supposed to. All right? I love you guys. I love you as much as your higher self loves you. I wish the best for you in the ways that your higher self wishes the best for you. The ways that God wishes the best for us. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe if you so feel inclined. And on that note, vroom, beep, beep.